Good morning, students. In our previous class, we discussed about the topic about China in the lesson National Liberation Movement. We have discussed about China about the introduction part. We discussed that in the introduction part, the China was ruled by the Manchu dynasty. This Manchu dynasty rule was ended in China in 1911. And China became the republic under the leadership of Sun Yat-sen. We discussed that. Sun Yat-sen designed the program of action to solve the problems of the China. His program of action is called as the three principles. The three principles we have discussed. That is San, Ming, Shui. These are all things we discussed that. And also in our previous class, we discussed about the May 4th movement. Just I am reminding to you about the May 4th movement. It was occurred on May 4th, 1919. This May 4th movement occurred against the decisions of the Treaty of Versailles. You all know that after the end of the World War I, one peace treaty was held that is called as the Treaty of Versailles. According to the Treaty of Versailles, some conditions was laid down by the victorious countries on the defeated countries. This May 4th movement was occurred in the China in the city Beijing. This movement occurred against the decisions of the Treaty of Versailles. For example, China also one of the country in the victorious side. Even though China is one of the country in the victorious side, but China did not get back its occupied place by the Japan. That's why China started a movement that is called as the May 4th movement. In this movement, China demanded that to drive out all the foreigners, to remove the inequalities in China, and to reduce the poverty, as well as to abolish the food binding. Already we discussed. In China, food binding means in China, women were not allowed to have a fully grown feet because Chinese felt that having a fully grown feet is a unauspicious to them. These all cruel practices was demanded by the Chinese people to abolish. These all things we discussed that. After this revolution, China was entered into a period of turmoil. Turmoil means there was no political stability. On that, when there is no political stability in China, two political parties were emerged in China to unite the Chinese people and to bring the stability. Let us know what are the two political parties. That is our today's topic. One is the Guomindang party. Guomindang. It is also known as National People's Party. Shortly I am writing as NPP. It is also known as KMT. And the second political party is CCP, Chinese Communist Party. Listen, when China was entering into the period of turmoil, when there was no political stability, two major political parties was emerged in China. They are the Guomindang Party, also known as National People's Party, as well as also known as KMT. And the second one is the Chinese Communist Party. Let's know these two parties tried to bring the unity and to bring the stability in China. Let's know about the Guomindang Party. Here, the most important leader of the Guomindang Party is Sun Yat-sen. Sun Yat-sen, you know that? Sun Yat-sen. The ideas of the Sun Yat-sen, the three ideas are there here. San means nationalism, Min means democracy, Chui means socialism. The ideas of this San, Min, Chui, the ideas of this Sun Yat-sen became the basis for the political party of Guomindang. This Guomindang party leader, Sun Yat-sen, identified the four great needs to the people. They are food, cloth, house, as well as transportation. They identified, the leaders of the Guomindang party identified the four great needs. They are one, food, cloth, housing and transportation. Listen, it means Sun Yat-sen became the most important leader and his ideas only became the foundation of this Kuomintang party. But after the death of the Sun Yat-sen, another person became the leader of this Kuomintang party. His name is Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek. This Chiang Kai-shek is a conservative leader. Conservative leader means he don't accept the modernity. He don't accept the modern science. He always want to follow the traditional old system in China. This Chiang Kai-shek, who came to power, who became the leader of the Kuomintang after Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek tried to militarize the nation and he tried to control the warlords. As well as he advocated, Chiang Kai-shek is a popular conservative and he advocated the 4 things to the women. 4 things, they are nothing but women have to develop the 4 things. One is chastity. Chastity means good character. And second one is appearance. Appearance should be good. And third one is work. And the fourth one is speech. Chiang Kai-shek advocated the 4 great things to the women. Nothing but he advocated that women have to develop the 4 things. One is the chastity, the woman character should be good. Appearance, the look of the woman should be good. And the work, women have to do the work. And speech, the voice and what the words they speak should be good. These 4 virtues are advocated by the Chiang Kai-shek to the women. And he also prescribed means he decided the length of the woman dress hemline. Hemline means a frock like dress. He also fixed the how much of length the dress have to wear by the women. So that type of conservative by the Chiang Kai-shek. Listen, up to now we discussed about the Kuomintang party and about Sun Yat-sen we discussed that, as well as about Chiang Kai-shek we discussed that. Listen, this Kuomintang party social base is there in the urban areas. It means this party has the more popularity in the cities. Especially during the Kuomintang party time, the industrial growth was very slow and limited. It means industrialization has not occurred. Why? Because you know that the conservative leader Chiang Kai-shek is a conservative. He don't accept the modernity. That's why industrial growth was very slow and limited. City, for example, Shanghai city. Shanghai city became the center for the modern growth in the China. Let's once again I am repeating. Shanghai, it is the city name. This city became the center for the modern growth. On that time in this Shanghai city, working class appeared 5 lakhs. It means 5 lakhs workers were living in this Shanghai city. Even though 5 lakhs workers are there in this Shanghai city, most of the workers were engaged in the small units only. Very few workers only engaging in the modern industry. One of the example for the modern industry is shipbuilding industry. Few workers only engaging in the shipbuilding industry, which is the modern industry. Remaining most of the workers are maybe the traders or the shopkeepers. During that time, women's conditions were very bad. The working hours are very long. Whatever the wages means income earning by the women are very less. The working conditions are very bad, and there was no freedom, there was no democracy, there was no equality in the society. But gradually, in the course of time, women affected with the freedom and equality with the establishment of educational institutions. One of the educational institutions which was established in China was Peking University. This Peking University was established in China in the year 1902. After establishment of these educational institutions, like example Peking University in 1902, the women also were affected with this education and they started to question the authority of the leaders. These all things to discuss about the Kuomintang party. During the time of Kuomintang party only, in the year 1937, Japan invaded over the China. Japan country attacked over the China in the year 1937. But when Japan attacked over the China in 1937, this Guomindang party leaders were retreated. Retreated means go back. Means they are not much of power to fight with the Japan. These all things was happened during the time of the Guomindang party, as well as China was weakened because of the long wars, as well as the prices rose by 30% between 1945 to 1949. Because of the rising of prices in between 1945 to 1949, the lives of the people were very bad. These all things, and China faces the two crises. One is the ecological crisis, another one is the socio-economic crisis. Two crises. Ecological crisis means, example, deforestation. Another example, floods. These are the ecological examples, as well as socio-economic crisis. Socio-economic crisis means exploitative land revenue system. As well as another socio-economic thing means using of very primitive technology. They are not adapted to the new technology. And poor communication. These three are the examples for the socio-economic crisis. So the China faced the two crises: ecological crisis, example deforestation, floods, and soil exhaustion. Second one is the socio-economic crisis. Socio-economic crisis example, you take the exploitative land revenue system, you take the using of primitive technology. Primitive technology means old technology. And third one, poor communication. These two crises are facing by the China. And that situation, another political party was emerged because people were not satisfied with the rule of the Guomindang. Then another political party was founded in China, that is Chinese Communist Party. This party was founded in the year 1921 after the Russian Revolution. Now we have to know about the Russian Revolution. This Russian Revolution has occurred in 1970. After the end of the Russian Revolution only, this Chinese Communist Party was founded in China in 1921, because this Russian Revolution had a great impact around the world. With the inspiration from the Russian Revolution only, many changes and many revolts has taken place in different parts of the world. Like the same way, another political party was emerged in China in the year 1921. With the inspiration of Russian Revolution only, one of the Russian leader, Lenin, he established the one world government. Its name is Kuomintang. Listen, in the year 1918. Kuomintang is an international government. Otherwise, Kuomintang is a world government that would end the exploitation. This Kuomintang as well as the Soviet Union supported the communist parties. And also, this communist believed that the revolutions will be occur. Revolutions will be occur because of the working class in the cities. Later, this Mao Zedong became the leader of this Chinese Communist Party. Let us see here. Sun Yat-sen is the important leader of the Kuomintang Party. After Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek is the important leader of the Kuomintang Party. Here, the most important leader of the Chinese Communist Party was Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong became the most important leader. Unlike the other leaders in China, other leaders believed that revolutions will be taken place. Revolutions are occur because of the working class in the cities. Means revolutions will occur because of the workers. Like that, earlier rulers believed that. But Mao Zedong adapted the new way and he concentrated on the peasants. Peasants means farmers. Mao Zedong prepared his program of action. Mao Zedong prepared his program action based upon the peasantry, and he organized. Mao Zedong organized the peasants. Nothing but he called for the peasants to fight against the landlordism. He organized the peasants to fight against the landlordism, and he called the peasants to form the army. Because of this call of the Mao Zedong, millions of peasants joined in the group of the Chinese Communist Party. Finally, the popularity of the Kuomintang party decreases and the Chinese Communist Party gained the more popularity in the China against the